bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, you know, bullshit sometimes, and, you know, that's the only thing that I hate about it.
Watching him, you know, he's with my man Charlie Mack, so Charlie was with me every step of the way. First out the limo, so Charlie has been with me, you know, 30 years coming up in the business. So, you know, he's surrounded by a whole lot of strength. He's surrounded by a whole lot of love, and all he has to do is add discipline. And
Will and Jada Smith are reportedly facing a rough start to 2026, with serious allegations spreading online about how they interacted with young men who came to them seeking guidance and mentorship. One of those names mentioned is Bryshere Gray. According to Bryshere, what he experienced during Will Smith's alleged mentorship was deeply damaging and changed the entire direction of his life. He says he went from being a rising Hollywood talent to being pushed into disturbing sexual situations with men on camera. Bryshere also claims that Will allegedly not only used him, but groomed him and exposed him to being used by other men before eventually discarding him once he was no longer needed. He further says that over time he developed strong emotional feelings for Will Smith and believed he had someone who truly cared for him and would protect him. This relationship, according to him, lasted for several years and shaped his mindset during that period. The most painful part, he explains, is what happened after he tried to step away and rebuild his life independently. He claims that Will and Jada allegedly shut him out of the industry so strongly that no one would work with him. Now, Bryshere says he feels he has nothing left to lose, and that this is why he is finally speaking out after staying silent for so long.
This till today is still one of the scariest transformations I've ever seen in my life. To go from this fine, young, rich, millions of followers, you know what I'm saying? You could start any business you want, you could do whatever you want, you are known around the world, into this in a matter of years? Baby, this
Hollywood once celebrated him as a rising star, praising his talent in both music and acting. Big names, including Will Smith, were said to have supported him and promised to guide his career toward top-level success. Looking back now, many find it shocking how things eventually turned out. At some point, Bryshere's behavior reportedly changed, and he began facing backlash and being blacklisted from parts of the industry. The young actor who once had strong Hollywood potential eventually ended up far from that path, even moving into adult content. Because of how far things went, many now say it's best not to look into his online presence. His name slowly faded from public discussion until recent claims about Will and Jada Smith's private life and alleged interactions with young men seeking mentorship brought it back into focus. These claims are still only allegations, but they have sparked major attention online. Bryshere is now reportedly considering a $50 million lawsuit against Will, mentioned in a blind item suggesting more possible accusers may come forward involving an A-list figure. The situation gained more attention after Will Smith faced another lawsuit from former violinist Brian Scott Joseph, who accused him of sexual assault. In his filing, Joseph describes spending time with Will during a 2025 tour, where Will allegedly spoke about a special bond between them that he didn't share with others. Over time, Joseph claims the relationship became increasingly uncomfortable. He recalls Will saying, "You and I have such a special connection that I don't have with anyone else." In March 2025, Joseph says his hotel bag, which contained his room key, went missing for several hours. When he returned, he allegedly found that someone had entered his room without permission and left behind personal items, including wipes, a bottle of HIV medication labeled under another person's name, and a note that read, "Brian, I'll be back no later. Just us." Joseph says he interpreted this as a warning that someone intended to return to his room for sexual activity, which he believed could involve him. He also claims that when he reported the incident to Will's team, he was allegedly shamed and then fired. Because of this, Joseph filed a lawsuit, also claiming that Will attempted to groom him for a sexual relationship and that his refusal led to a change in Will's behavior toward him.
This is because getting fired or getting blamed or shamed or threatened or anything like that, simply for reporting sexual misconduct or safety threats at work, is not okay. And I know that there's a lot of other people out there who have been afraid to speak up, and I understand. And if that's you, I see you. And that's.
It may be hard for him to prove the harassment claims in court, but those following the story say Bryshere Gray could be the one bringing the strongest allegations against Will. Adding to that, Will's former close friend and assistant has also spoken out in interviews, claiming that Bryshere was used by Will during that time. He described how Will allegedly used the idea of mentorship and career guidance to attract young actors and entertainers who were trying to break into the industry. At first, Bryshere says he accepted the opportunity, believing it would help his career. But soon, he realized it wasn't just about acting roles or professional development. Instead, he claims he was being invited to private parties, events similar to those often described in Hollywood rumors about powerful industry circles. Whenever he reportedly questioned why he needed to attend, he says Will would tell him that success required effort, loyalty, and, quote, paying your dues before earning a real place in the industry.
Bryshere Gray. So long story short, when I'm in Chicago, this guy's acting erratic. Like, I mean, crazy. He's getting stopped by the cops. There's male prostitutes involved. There's mental illness involved. There's drug use involved. And I'm really trying to see what happened to this guy. And one day he said, you know what happened. You know that Will R-worded me, or however y'all kind of say it on YouTube. You know that Diddy sexually assaulted me. And you know Charlie Mack made me suck his private part. Right? And I'm like, whoa. This was a full admittance. And he's going, and I'm like, I didn't know anything. He's in the corner, balled up, snot, so much sweating and pain that blood is coming from his nose, right? And this is me and him in a conversation. And he was like, please don't tell him, please don't tell him, right? Will admitted to me that he had sex with Bryshere Gray, but it was consensual, right? So I'm like, okay, so now it's starting to make sense, because I would have never believed that the way this guy's acting, something had to happen. So now, Will told me, and this is going to be in paperwork and everything, right? So when Will told me that he did have sexual intercourse with Bryshere, he said Bryshere did ask him to stop. Will said he finished, completed the act, then stopped. Right then and there, when a person says stop, that means stop. Period. So I do believe that Will Smith sexually assaulted Bryshere Gray. Charlie Mack and Will gets a lawyer for Bryshere, and they try to get me under NDA. I tell Will, I'm not signing, I don't even have an NDA with you. How am I getting an NDA with him? You understand what I'm saying? So I hire a lawyer, right? Mm-hmm. When I hire the lawyer, he comes back and say, listen, this is the best I can do. He said, I'm going to have y'all do a mutually NDA, meaning that Bryshere can't tell people that you know that Will and Diddy sexually assaulted him. And I want to say the R word, but I know we're on YouTube. Then you can't say nothing about him. So I said, okay, well, as long as he stopped telling people that I know what Will and Diddy did to him. You understand what I'm saying? Period. That was the problem. So there's legal paperwork, and it's all going to be, and you got to follow this case. All that's coming out in court.
It was only after Bryshere says he could no longer handle the situation and began acting out that Will allegedly cut ties with him. According to these claims, he was dropped because Will was concerned that Bryshere's behavior could damage his public image and overall brand.
For a book, that didn't sell. I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life, and what you had to do with it.